Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here. Welcome to my 100% full game walkthrough for Where the Bees Make Honey. In this video, I'll show you how to grab all of the achievements and trophies and get that completion out of the way. Now you may notice that the video is only about 30 minutes long, but the completion does require us to play for about 1 full hour, as we will be required to do 2 full playthroughs of the game, as there are 2 different endings and we will need to experience both endings. If you're playing on Xbox, it will require you to play the entire game through 2 times. However, if you're playing on PlayStation, you can make a manual USB key save. So I will point out the section in which you would want to do that if you do want to save the time and only play through the game about 1.5 times instead of 2 full times. Again, that option is only available on PlayStation as far as I'm aware at the moment. The game itself was available starting in late March 2019. It cost a total of $10, and it is not a very great game, but it is very easy gamer score. I believe the game is currently only available in North America, but the developer has mentioned that they do plan on releasing it in Europe at some point, so you might want to keep that in mind as well. From the main menu, you will start the game and then watch a kind of medium-length cinematic cutscene, and then eventually gain control of your character, where we begin the actual walkthrough. Alright, so once we gain control of our character here, what we need to do is just walk away. The game will stutter with almost no frames for the first little bit, so let the game kind of adjust. Then we can walk forward, take a right-hand turn, and walk through the door. Press X to go through the first door. Skip the door right in front of you, and then go into this next door. You'll enter a staircase where we'll want to go all the way to the very bottom, past the first floor. And there you will find a power box where we can interact with it. We can pull the switch and turn on the lights. We'll also unlock our first achievement or trophy right here. So you open it up, pull the switch, it'll kind of transport you. And now what we want to do is head all the way back up the stairs to the 4th floor, which is where we came from. This time when we enter the 4th floor, it'll be a little bit different, which will allow us to kind of proceed with the story. So past the 3rd floor, all the way up to the 4th floor, it says vocal. Open the door. Here you'll notice a walkway. Just walk forward until the tree in front of you falls down to cut off your path. Another achievement or trophy. Now what we can do is just back up and take the path to the left and follow it around. Just going over the water here. This game doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense, but it's really easy. There are some okay parts and there's some not so okay parts. We'll kind of just play through, and as they come, we'll talk about them. But as you follow that path, you will then enter a black door, and then you'll have this side-scrolling section. Just run to the right-hand side. When there's a gap, press A to jump across the gap, as you would in any platformer. Here you'll notice there is a ladder. Walk in, like, away from the screen to go up the ladder. And then walk into away from the screen again to walk up the second ladder, allowing us to go through the white door. This will transport us into this kind of area, and all we need to do is basically complete it by walking to the very end. This game is very abstract, very indie to say the least. We'll walk down the stairs to the right-hand side, walk down the stairs into the screen, and just follow these staircases until you come to a door, and then you'll be able to walk through that door pretty easily, and you can't really get lost or screw this up, so you should be good to go. Once you walk through that door, it'll pan up and it'll show your character again. Just walk through another white door here. So I'm going to pick this one kind of right in front of me in order to leave. At this point, we'll be in a house. Just walk to the right-hand side. Don't stop for anything. Just keep on walking. We'll then get a short little cutscene cinematic type thing. There are a few of these. There's the long one at the beginning. There's a somewhat long one at the end. And then there's this kind of short one in the middle of the game. So, unfortunately, like I said earlier, we can't skip these. You just kind of have to let them play through for all of your playthroughs.
My bee costume. When I wore that, I could do anything. I could change anything. It was my way of doing it. Grandpa had always said I had to find my own way to change the world.
At this point, we are introduced to... There's a couple of puzzles in this game. I think there's about 5 or 6. I think the first one's kind of coming up right here after this little cutscene. Yep, there's more to it. Never mind. Alright, so a lot of these puzzles, you use the left and right bumpers to rotate the screen, and as you rotate things, the world will change differently. So for this one, just rotate left, right, left, right, left, right, and the pillars in front of you will eventually go into the ground, and then we can just walk forward into the objective. Once you reach this section, just continue walking to the right. If there is a obstruction in front of you preventing you from walking forwards, all you'll want to do is press one of the bumpers and we will flip to the bottom side or the opposite side of wherever we are. So you'll reach the cookies will be in the way, you'll have to flip, then we'll reach this little board, you'll have to flip in order to get past the board, and then just continue walking to the right hand side of the screen. There will be this kind of small little xylophone, there will be a shoe, and the shoe will kind of move us up to a table, and then we'll be able to walk under some books. So just do that, and it'll proceed us kind of automatically to the next little mini game / whatever you want to call these.
I could be you.
Achievements and trophies will be popping pretty much non-stop throughout our playthrough, by the way. Now, in this level, what we need to do is collect all 3 honeycombs. There's one kind of right next to us where we spawn. You'll want to go in the door, and then you can rotate the level in order to kind of see where we're supposed to go. And in the back side here, there's also another second piece of the honeycomb. And then we want to go back to where we came from and rotate out of this, climb the ladder, and pick up the 3rd honeycomb, which will automatically end the puzzle level and allow us to make further progress with the game here. Alright, now we'll have a lantern. What we want to do is basically take every little extra side path. So walk forward, and eventually there will be a split in the road. Make sure you take a right-hand turn and go up into the forest. You'll see a bike tire that's kind of spinning around. What we need to do is just walk around it, and eventually you'll hear a sound, and you'll also see that your lantern gets a lot brighter. That means we can now leave this area. So there we go. We heard a little sound. Our flashlight got super bright. And we can now leave and then continue down the path. And there's 2 more of these little kind of side paths that lead into the forest. We'll need to interact with both of those. So we'll just continue along the path. You'll see another right-hand turn here. We have to do the same thing. There will be these 2 items, and what we need to do is kind of walk near them and around them in order to activate a sound and for the lights to get really bright. If for whatever reason you miss the lantern or whatever and it doesn't work, the path will stop you from proceeding. So you just have to go back and make sure you get the sound to play. You can't really mess this up. In the 3rd path, you'll see a large lantern. You'll walk around it and knock it over, causing a fire. At that point, just walk back down to the main path and continue along it. You should then unlock an achievement or trophy called I Was Just Having Fun, and you should be able to walk past the bicycle at the end of the path here, and it'll allow us to get to the next part of the game. Here we have another puzzle, so I'm going to rotate left 1 time, which will allow me to walk here up the ramp and pick up the first honeycomb. Then I can climb the ladder in front of us here to get to the main area, and I can climb the big ladder to get to the very top of the treehouse and get our second honeycomb. Then I'm going to drop down and rotate 1 time to the right and climb into the treehouse. Then I'm going to rotate to the right 1 time, allowing us to connect the bridge to the 3rd honeycomb, solving the puzzle.
Milk, bread, carrots.
All right, so welcome to the
Got it,
worst
got
part
it.
of the game. This is
Sunny?
the rabbit
I
slash
think
bunny.
that's it. Huh.
What you need to
Sunny,
know about
Sunny,
how the
let's go.
controls work for this
That's
is that
weird.
pushing forward will make the bunny
She couldn't
run
have
in the
gone
direction
far.
it's currently facing. Panning the
Sunny?
camera around the bunny does not change the direction the bunny
probably
goes.
just around this aisle.
So basically, if you want to go forward, press forward. If you want to turn,
Oh,
make sure you
no.
turn the bunny and then go forward. Don't really worry the camera. Moving the camera is just extra for you. What we need to do is get to the end of this area. There's a lot of platforming and stuff we kind of need to worry about here.
Have you seen the
This
little
is
girl
easily the
around
most
here?
frustrating part
She
because
was,
if you miss a jump, you might have to
wearing a bee
restart a
costume?
section a little bit.
No?
But hopefully you
Oh.
don't mess up too much.
She was
Once
right
we
behind me.
get to the end of the
How
path
did I
here, you'll
lose
notice
her?
this rock that's obviously a ramp. Line yourself up with the ramp and then jump to it. Once on this rock, line yourself up with the next rock by slowly turning and run
Where did
forward
she
and then
go?
jump across. And like I missed it there because I jumped a little late. Unfortunately, with the jumps, you have to jump a little bit late to make the actual gaps. So occasionally you might make a little mistake and then have to just retry a jump. It's not too bad though. And then so we'll jump across here. And then all we need to do is turn to our right. Again, make the bunny face where you want him to go. And then jump across the gap. And then follow the path here. And then there's another gap we'll need to jump
This
across.
grocery store isn't even
And then
that
continue
big.
along this path. Watch out that you don't fall off. And then you'll have to go kind of here to the left. Following the cliffside. You'll need
She
to
has
jump
to
a
be
couple
here
times to make
somewhere.
sure to get up here. You'll then reach this kind of split path to your right-hand side, so we will take it. Again, turn the bunny and then run
Should I have
forward.
them make an announcement?
Make the jump across the
No.
gap here.
No.
And then you can
No.
make the jump into the water and follow the water past this little break in the rocks. And you'll end up on the backside of these, and there's a little kind of beach you can run up. I've played this game. This is like my 3rd and a half playthrough. I did half a playthrough, then I did 2 full playthroughs, and then I'm playing it again. So I'm kind of used to the bunny controls, but the first time I played, they were rough to get used to, you know, to say the least. Once we get onto the shore, climb the rock,
I
and
lost
then
her.
stick to the left-hand side once you reach the top
She's
of the hill.
lost.
There's going to be another kind of complex series of jumps here. This first jump's probably the hardest. Line up your bunny to the rock, the huge rock in the middle there.
I should call the police.
All right, now once you make the jump, it should be pretty easy to make the next jump. My controller actually died, so if there's a small cut in the video, that's why. When the controller died, it actually sent me off the cliff
gone.
there, but these jumps
She's
aren't too bad,
actually
even if they look a
gone.
little bit kind of hard, or maybe they look like they're very timing based. They're pretty easy to pull off. Once you get to this last area, you'll run through the
Sunny?
kind of
Sunny!
I don't
There
know,
you
cave entrance thing here. And once you reach this, you want to go to the right-hand side
Sunny, honey,
and follow the path.
you are so important.
The
to
game tends to lag a little bit here, so
I
keep that in
can't
mind.
me. Ever lose you.
You'll reach a body of water at this
Watch your
point.
step,
If
there's a
you
small
can
pond
jump
here.
into it, you'll save a little bit of time getting those hardcore speedrunning strats from Macca. Just to save you the time of swimming, since you can't really speed up the swimming. Jumping into the water makes it just a little bit faster. And then once you come out of the other side of the water here, just run through the path and then jump down into like the hole here.
Okay, finally.
And that'll end the
Car's
bunny
right here.
section.
Just jump in.
All right, so next up we have another rotation puzzle. I'm going to rotate to the right 1 time in order to get onto the bridge across the water. Then I'll rotate left in order to be able to make it across here. if the game allows me to. We'll rotate again in order to get across. Pick up the honeycomb. Then what we want to do is come down this ladder here. What we want to do is go up this ladder and then rotate in order to bring the bridge to ourselves. Get onto the bridge and then rotate in order to extend the bridge to the honeycomb here. At this point, you can jump down and you can rotate. You see this ladder right in front of me? If you rotate to the right, it'll move out of the way, allowing us to go underneath and into this kind of secret room to pick up the third honeycomb. If you want to do a quick achievement or trophy check, we're at 8 out of 15. Or if you're on PlayStation, I think there's a platinum, right? Alright, so from the bunny section being the worst to the RC section is now the second worst in my opinion. You steer forward to go forward, and then you turn with the left and right stick. So you can't really accelerate at the same time as you turn. It's kind of weird. Also, the physics are really weird, so sometimes it'll just randomly decide to flip your car over for you, which really sucks. But we're basically just going to follow the obvious path for a while here. You don't have to jump through the tire there. You can kind of just go around if you want to. It's just faster. Sometimes, like on this jump, it'll randomly decide to flip your car for you. If you somehow manage to get stuck on the top, like upside down, you might have to quit to the main menu and then restart this section by pressing continue. So keep that in mind. Try not to flip your car. It's supposed to automatically flip you back over, but it doesn't always do that. I found that taking my time on some of these ramps makes it so that I flip less often, whereas if you gun it, sometimes you'll just start randomly crashing and you can't really fix it too easily, like maybe right here. But for the most part, we're going to follow the path. There is a little bit of a time saver skip that allows us to skip about 1 or 2 minutes of stuff coming right up around this corner. We're going to do that, obviously. We're doing the ultimate speedrun strategy. For all the Where the Bees Make Honey speedrunners out there, please leave a comment about why you decided that this was the game you were going to speedrun. Nonetheless, we're going to take a turn at the end of the path here. Kind of go down the hill. Sometimes you just let the physics kind of take control of you. And here is where we can do the skip. So this giant ramp in front of us, don't jump across it. What you want to do is kind of jump off of it a little bit to the right hand side. So you'll see kind of where I'm aiming to land. You don't have to do this perfectly, but you kind of try to want to drive off of it like that. And hopefully you land in this canyon that I barely landed into. If you didn't, you might have hit an invisible wall, or you might have landed on the path that's like 1 floor above this one. You should be able to easily kind of just navigate your way down, but that's the skip you want to do. You want to fall from the very top there all the way to the very bottom. That jump might look complicated. It's not that complicated. If you mess it up, it's fine. Here, we just follow the boardwalk. At the end of the boardwalk, we kind of have to take a left-hand turn here. And then we'll take a small right-hand turn and end up on the beach. Once on the beach, our goal is to get to like the far side on the right-hand side. So we're basically going to aim kind of to the right as soon as we enter the area. Watch the hills. They will flip you over. We're going to take our time. And then if you look to the right-hand side, kind of as you get a little bit deeper, you'll notice that there's an opening amongst these rocks and between the trees. And there's a little bit of a boardwalk here. We're going to go there, and at the end of the boardwalk, there's a ramp, and we'll jump off that ramp.
I'm not only someone who's still finding herself. I'm also a woman. I nurture, and therefore I should matter.
So like I said, now we're on the boardwalk. There's a ramp. Just drive off the ramp as fast as you can, and it should automatically bring us to the next kind of section or area of the game.
Please do not worry about any of this.
Alright, so this is the next puzzle. If you're playing on PlayStation, right now is where you want to go create your backup save onto a USB stick, and you'll be able to reload this level in order to get both endings. If you are using the cloud or on Xbox, you have to do 2 full playthroughs like I explained at the beginning. So again, if you're on PlayStation, here's where you want to make your backup save. Otherwise, let's just continue. What we want to do is rotate it so that we can cross the bridge into the middle island, and then rotate it back so that we can cross the bridge back to where we came from. We'll want to go all the way around here to get around the back of the lighthouse, and then we will rotate to the right in order to bring this little gazebo thing down. Rotate to the left in order to make them the same height. Rotate to the right to bring yourself up on top of the gazebo, and then rotate to the left to bring the gazebo up. Now what we want to do next is we want to rotate to the right. We want to rotate to the right so that the beam, you can see that a little beam connected us to the lighthouse. So we want to make sure that beam is here so we can jump down. And then we also want to make sure that the second part of this little bridge that's right in front of me is also lined up. We want to wait for this thing that's spinning around to spin around a couple times. We can walk across and pick up the second honeycomb. And then what we want to do is wait for this spinny beam to spin across so we can pick up the third honeycomb. And that'll bring us to the end of this level and unlock an achievement or trophy for us. That one can take a little bit of timing, a little bit of practice, but you're basically just rotating it over and over to make all the paths line up and all the little boards in the proper place to be able to access all the honeycombs as easily as possible. Next up, I think we have the trick-or-treating Halloween section. So what we're going to do is go all the way to the right. Just basically you're running to the right as much as you can. You will have 3 life bars, and there will be a lot of enemies. Obviously, getting hit by an enemy will take off one of your life bars. If you lose all 3 of your lives, you will have to restart this section, which is not optimal for, saving your time. But you don't get reset too much. And there are also some enemies that will hit you basically like 3 times at the same time, which basically makes you die instantly. So we're just going to try to avoid pumpkins as best as possible. So after we walk underneath the ladder, for the first pumpkin, it'll kind of try to chase you. Just run away from it. For the second set of pumpkins, I like to stay near the bottom of the screen here. And basically, you're just timing it so that they don't hit you. So we're going to make sure this first one kind of rolls away from us. Ouch. I got hit once there, not a big deal. Obviously not the best, but it's not a huge problem either. Now we're going to reach this kind of little balance beam zombie puzzle thing. Basically, all you're doing here is waiting for timing of the zombies so that you can make your way across the beams without getting hit by any of them. If you want to do like a speed run, right here is where you would basically intentionally get hit. You could just run through the zombie, take the hit of life, and it'll let you kind of skip past some of these guys more quickly. I'm actually going to do it here because I don't want to get stuck. They were in a really bad pattern, so I just decided to get hit. It's not a really huge deal. And now I have 1 life left, and we can proceed. At this section, there will be 2 kind of pumpkins. You'll want to stay near the top of the screen and kind of bait them a little bit. And once they start moving to you, you want to move your way back down to the bottom of the screen and kind of around them so they don't hit you. Again, we only have a certain amount of lives, so we want to make sure that we don't waste all of them, or else we have to restart the section. And then just keep running to the right-hand side, and you'll notice a giant jack-o'-lantern. And once you reach that, which is coming up right here, any minute now. Again, this game doesn't make a lot of sense, don't ask me, but if you found some deeper meaning in it, congratulations. Please let me know in the comments down below what that deeper meaning was. Once you reach the giant jack-o'-lantern, it'll start rolling towards you. And at that point, you will want to run to the left of the screen, all the way back to where the zombie platforms were. At a certain point, as you're running to the left, the jack-o'-lantern will kind of disappear off your screen. Just keep running to the left until you reach, like, the very end of the road, though. If you were to run back to the right-hand side here, he would actually still be rolling towards you. So once you reach this area, now we can run back to the right-hand side. The pumpkin would have shrunk, and now we can run around it. And what we need to do is run all the way to the right-hand side of the road. I believe there's an enemy coming up, but he's super easy, so just make sure you don't get hit, especially if you only have 1 life. I'm not even 100% sure there will be an enemy. There might be. No, there isn't. Okay, so you just run to the right, the screen fades to black, and we're on the last puzzle. For the last puzzle, what I like to start off by doing is rotating to the right 1 time, and then dropping down to pick up the honeycomb kind of underneath us. Go back on the platform and rotate left to bring yourself back up. Then what we want to do is run into here and then try to climb up. You will be able to basically, you can see the bee girl through the screen here, but we're basically all the way up here. What we want to do is rotate it so that, you see this platform that's going up and down? You want to rotate it so the platform comes down to pick you up. Rotate to the right so the platform comes and brings you to the top. You'll see the minecart. What you want to do is stand over here so the minecart is ahead of you, and then rotate to the left 2 times so the minecart is now kind of behind you. You can now grab the honeycomb and go back to the platform and rotate to the right so that the minecart is now in front of you. And then we can go back onto the lift, go to this bridge here and rotate so that the bridge connects. Go across the bridge and then rotate until the honeycomb is directly in front of you. I was basically standing right next to the honeycomb, so as soon as I rotated it, it seems that the level had completed itself. But the honeycomb was basically right in front of me where I was standing, on the little corner edge above the entrance to that tunnel.
Oh my god.
This is basically the end of the game now. There is about a 3 or 4 minute cinematic where you sit down and you contemplate your life, you reminisce about your memories, and you think about your childhood, I think is what happens. And at the end of the game, you'll get a choice between 2 endings. There will be a phone that rings. You can choose to answer the phone, or you can choose not to answer the phone. There's 1 achievement or trophy for each ending, and then there's 1 achievement or trophy for getting both of the endings. So right now, if I were to go to my achievements, you see I have 3 left. 1 of them is for not picking up the phone, 1 of them is for picking up the phone, and 1 of them is for doing both of those. So if you were playing on Xbox, just pick 1 of them, restart the game, play through the entire game again, which will only take you around 30 minutes, and then choose the other ending, and boom, you'll have your 1000 gamer score. If you're playing on PlayStation and made that USB key save that I talked about briefly, after getting your trophy, all you would do is reload that save, play the last few levels again, and then choose the other option to unlock all of the trophies for the game. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. If this video was helpful, I would really appreciate if you drop a like on the video. A super special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Videos like this would not be possible without your support, and I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Double O. Again, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this game more than I did, as I didn't really seem to enjoy it too much. But again, it was easy gamer score, easy trophies if that's your thing as well. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you in one of my next videos in the near future. Maka signing off. The gameplay will continue to play until I unlock the final ending. I'll see you soon. Peace!
No! That's it! I'm done! I'm mad as hell.